Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Tuesday, April 20th, 2021. How's everybody doing today? Normally on Tuesdays, I do Trivia Tuesday. I'm still out of focus, so at least that's normal. But I didn't have enough time to get every trivia game set up for us today, so maybe we'll make up for it later in the week. And yesterday, sorry about that, I had to cancel yesterday's live stream, kind of last minute. We had a normally scheduled doctor's visit, and then the doctor's office called and said, like, there's a last minute cancellation. Can you come earlier? And I always try to accommodate whenever that's possible for, healthcare providers. So we did that. So that ended up making it so that way we were not in the house at live stream time. So that's why we had to cancel it yesterday. But we're back here. Everyone's doing great. And I'm glad to see you guys. Let's say hi to everyone listening on the audio-only version on the podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a good run and getting some work done today. And everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, on YouTube but not live, welcome to you guys as well. Here's something that I've been forgetting to do lately. I do want to also welcome anyone. If this is your first time coming to a live stream, welcome. I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from, if you're comfortable sharing that. And if you have a question, feel free to just drop it in anytime. I might miss it initially. If you don't hear me answer after a couple of minutes, I'm sorry about that. Try to write it in again, like copy paste, and then I'll see it the second time. And I'll always try to answer any questions that come through. There's no structure for today. We're just hanging out. It's a live stream, a bunch of runners just getting together and enjoying some time. So that's where we're at. The focus today is just really, really bad. I think part of it is that it's really dark in here for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Everything just seems really dark, and it's having a hard time focusing in on me. I mean, I'll try turning on more light. And maybe I need to look at the camera a little bit more, but I don't know why I can never figure that out. It's been over a year of doing this every day and still can't figure it out. All right, let's see who's here. Philip Bourne says, yo, what's going on? After work 10K with Laura today, 17 Celsius or 62 Fahrenheit and sunny. That's fantastic running weather. But Laura was a hot dog afterwards. She needs a haircut for some better cooling. Well, hopefully she could stay cool and regulate that temp. Albert says, hi, everyone. Hope your week is going well. Just dropping by a bit to say hi. Getting my first vaccine shot in just over an hour. Awesome. Nervous yet excited. We'll do an easy run over to the pharmacy. There you go. That's a way to get in. And if you run home from the pharmacy, you should be able to get in kind of a double before any potential side effects would kick in too. So that's another way you could do it. But good on you, Albert, getting that vaccine taken care of. Chris says, hey, co-family, on alert for the Chauvin verdict within the next hour or so. Good luck, Albert Long, with your vac shot. Ooh, do they know that for sure? Did they come back? I was telling my wife it's either going to come back today or Friday. I didn't think that they were going to go over an entire weekend for this one. But, yeah. I thought it was interesting yesterday when they stayed till like 7:30. We're deliberating till 7:30. I was like, if they really thought that they were in it for a very, very long haul, they would have called it a day like at 5:30 or 6 o'clock. But staying till 7:30 means maybe we could get through some major chunks of stuff here and then finish off early tomorrow. So I don't know. I haven't been following the news too much today, so I don't know if you heard something specifically saying that the jury's back and they're waiting for all the parties to arrive to read out the verdict or what. But I don't know. I'm nervous about what's going to happen. All right. R the Bear says, hi, Kofuzi. Hope you're well. I enjoy your channel. Keep it up. Well, awesome. Thanks, R the Bear. Thank you for the compliment. I'm glad to have you here today. Martha says, hi, everyone. Good luck, Albert. Not that you need luck. I would say congrats. I think that's the better way to put it. Congratulations. You're getting your turn. Luis says, yo, what's going on? Terry Furlong says, hiya. April long run Tuesday. Sunburn in April in the UK. Global warming is a thing. Ooh, yeah, you know what? I definitely have like a little mark right here. I think that I'm getting some sun in my forehead. Because I've been wearing different kinds of hats and not my usual like winter caps lately. Although I wore a winter cap today because it was very cold here in Chicago. My wife's like, you're gonna have to start wearing some sunscreen out there again. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like wearing sunscreen, but you gotta do it. JC says, hello. Eric Fence, he says, where'd that go? Eric says, hey, y'all, hope you're doing well. Today's my 22-year anniversary in the Navy. Awesome. 5 active and 17 in the reserves. Well, thank you so much for your service, sir. Congratulations on that anniversary. Well done. Woo, that's a long time. Yeah. Martha says, we're on alert of the Chauvin verdict, too. Had an easy run outside. Perfect cold, but sunny weather. Awesome. Very cool. Danny J says, howdy, folks. What's going on, Danny? Good to see you again. And Scott says, it would be good if you could IG message when the live stream is not going to happen. Okay. Yeah, I try, I think that's a good idea. I'll do that. I'll do it there too. Because I normally make a post on YouTube for that. But yeah, I could do something on Instagram too. My apologies. Mark says, hello, just hanging out. I need coffee. Very tired today. Mark, I was thinking about you today. I was thinking about you and all my other Long Island friends. I saw that there was like a shooter situation at the Stop and Shop out there. I don't know how close that is to you or not, but man, can't go anywhere anymore, right? It's terrible. Martha says, Leona, Shannon, and I all registered for Boston today, and the verdict comes by early May. Well, that's a different kind of verdict, but yeah, that's interesting. People are talking about how fast their times are going to have to be in order to actually get a bib. I was actually listening to Mario Fraioli's Morning Shakeout podcast. It was an AMA episode, and he was saying that he didn't think that he had a time that was good enough to run. And for Boston this year, because he was really excited at the prospect of running in Boston in the fall. But then he looked at the window of times that they were accepting, and he did have a time that qualified him. So it must have been a very, very good time, because he was like, yeah, so I applied and I'm going to get it. So he seemed very confident. So, which I don't doubt with Mario. He's a good runner. Brian Foran says, hey guys. Oh, before I leave on that subject though, with Martha, I really do I'm very tempted to try and figure out a way to get from Chicago to Boston the next day. Because it will be on subsequent days. Because I'm going to run the Chicago Marathon, Sunday, and then, is that how it goes? Yeah, it goes Sunday, and then Boston Marathon on Monday. I just don't know. So, because here's the thing. So I'm starting to think about my race calendar for the year. And, I got to run it by my wife a little bit more, but I guess I should talk to you guys about it too, because I kind of want to pick some races and events to go to kind of like around where you guys are. But, I signed up for CIM, and me and my running buddy are both going to run Chicago this year too. So I don't know what his goals are going to be, but I think maybe I'll try to pace him this year. And then I'll make my sub-3 attempt at CIM. So I'm thinking about that. There'll be about a little bit less than 2 months in between those events. So I think that'll be good to use kind of like Chicago as an early workout run. And then, although I'm not sure what he's going to be running for. I don't know if he's going for the BQ. I think he's in my age group now. He's like a couple of years younger than me. But I think he's now I think he'll be in the 40-year-old age group. So he might be shooting for that 310. So that'd be, not the hardest for me to achieve, but also not exactly easy either. But I think that would be a good place to put it, like 10 weeks out from CIM. So I'm thinking about that. But either way, so I'll have that race done that day. But then by the time I can collect myself, get myself then home and then to the airport and then to Boston just to even watch the race, that's going to be cutting it real tight. And then I don't know. I'm just not sure how that's going to work. And then I have to find a place to stay and all that. So it's I don't know. I'm thinking about trying to maybe make that work, but we'll see how things kind of shake out. Spanish Heart 18 says, hello from snowy Winnipeg. Is it snowing up there? It snowed here for a little bit today. We had some flurries. I think we were a little bit too far north, because I think it was mainly it was where the two fronts were hitting is where the snow was really going to hit, a little bit further south from us. But yeah, we definitely got snow for a good, maybe an hour today, but nothing stuck. But I'm guessing it's a little bit different probably in Winnipeg. And JC says, coffee sounds good. I'm driving through the last 2 hours at work. Yeah, I know the feeling of that, but. Oh, and Martha says, they do have a verdict. Boom. Okay. All right, we'll see when that comes out. Right now, Chicago is we drove downtown because the Northwestern is downtown, the hospital that we go to, and the doctor's offices that are adjacent to the hospital. Lots of things are boarded up, and I thought things were boarded up from the Adam Toledo protests. And I was like, I don't know why they're boarding up everything downtown. Those Toledo marches have all been in Little Village, no, Logan Square. And so, but I was like, oh wait, yeah, that verdict's probably going to come out this week. So I think everyone's on edge here in Chicago. And I think the National Guard's already been deployed in the area. And then the mayor was saying that the bridges that kind of like feed or allow access into the loop are all going to be undergoing maintenance today. And so they'll be up and down throughout the day. So, I mean, yeah, so they're preparing. And the mayor's been weird lately. I don't know what her deal is, but she was kind of like antagonizing people. She was like, "Don't test us," you know. And then at the same time, she was like, "Bring it," you know. I was like, "What?" I don't know. I don't know if she said "bring it," but that's kind of like the tone that I got from her statement. So hopefully it'll be a quiet couple of days. But I don't think it's going to be. All right. Ken Sprague says, heard about the Vaporfly Next Percent 2 now listed as $250 on the Nike store. Feels like we were lied to over the last month. What was it supposed to be? I haven't been following the pricing on that one. Wasn't it supposed to be $275? No. Did they say it was supposed to be $200 or $225 or something else? I'm not sure. I saw that Seth had tweeted something about it, but I don't really know what the deal was. And I guess I'm just not that interested in the Next Percent 2. So I just haven't been following it very closely. Mark says, which brand of running gels do you use? Martha suggested Humagels. Very good, but they cramp me up. I use a couple of different kinds, and I just ordered some new ones today that, you know, we'll probably maybe we'll try it on a mukbang day or something. But the ones that I like normally have like pretty much at all times are Science and Sport. There's like a citrus one that's caffeinated that I like. Usually have Univeds on hand. They have like the regular gels and then the elite gels, which I think are just the regular gels, but double the size. And some of the flavors are a little bit different. And I like the Huma Chia Plus. And then I also like Goo Roctane. There's a chocolate coconut one. It's the only one I like, but that one's really tasty. And a lot of caffeine, and the price is right. So I have a variety. Some of that are more or less expensive than others, but those are the ones that I generally have on hand. The cheaper ones are the ones that I tend to go through more quickly, and then the more expensive ones I kind of save for like longer days or tougher workouts. And then when it comes to race time, you know, then I might buy a box of Martins or Mortons. I'm not sure how to say that word, but I might buy a box of those because those are nice. And then those are like my they're like the Vaporflies of the gel world. You don't use them every day, but every once in a while when you're getting ready for a race and during a race, you might pop one or two. So that's what I do. Cheekster says, evening, Mike. What's going on, Cheekster? Ten Ruth is here. Good to see you again. And Joe Ho says, anyone recover from torn meniscus surgery? Scheduled for mid-May and hoping the return isn't too long. I saw someone was in here the other day talking about getting a meniscectomy. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. I don't remember what the context was of that question. But I'm pretty sure my answer was talk to your physical therapist. But yeah, I don't have an experience, but there might be someone else in here, Joe. CV76 is here. And Mile Ivanov is back. Where did that go? Just jumped. All right, I'm going to have to scroll back. I'm going to have to scroll down to the bottom because I'm way behind on everybody. Mile says, hey, Kofuzi, watching from Macedonia. It'll be interesting to watch the SL20 versus Velocity Win comparison after the live stream. Yeah, you know, those two shoes were a lot more similar than I thought. I thought this was going to be like a cheap shoe, expensive shoe. Like, haha, let me see how they're different. But they were pretty close. I mean, the Velocity is better. It's a better shoe. Hope I didn't spoil it for you. But, yeah. But it was a lot closer there. I mean, the two shoes share a lot of similarities. That's a tongue twister. Oh, interesting. All right. Let's scroll down. Oh, here's one from KCA. KCA says, hey, Co. Hello, everyone. Anyone run the BAA Patriots Day virtual mile yesterday? Did a minute mile at the track. I think we're missing a number in there, Casey, but that's awesome. I've been seeing a lot of that stuff. Here we go. 7-minute mile at the track. There it is. All right. Shannon says, hey, Co and Co. I missed the stream recently. Wet snow here. Good day for a rest day and work in the basement of the hospital. Yeah. Oh, all right. So let's talk about, I mentioned this once already to my wife. So I'm thinking about so like starting next Monday, I'll be 2 weeks out from my Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So I should have full immunity. So I'm starting to think about, all right, time for some races. Let's get some races on the calendar here. So I'm looking at races in May. And one that I was thinking about so far is there's a 10K out in Ferguson, Missouri. It's like the Run Twilight. Shannon's in that area. So that's why I thought about it. That's like May 15th. So I'm thinking about doing that one. I think that one's on a Saturday. There's a 5K and a 10K. There's normally a 10 mile at that event too, but I think the 10 mile part is virtual this year. I think they're trying to keep things a little bit, not as spread out through the community for this race. That's what I think is going on. Or maybe they just don't want to have as big a race. I'm not sure. But it's an event that Hoka is also they're not, I don't know if they're a sponsor or not, but the NAZ Elite team is working with them. One of their new team members is from the area, I think. And it's one of their initiatives. Ferguson is the town where, the Black Lives Matter movement kind of started. So, yeah, Shannon said Ducoze is coming to St. Louis, not virtual. Possibly, maybe. So I'm trying to convince my wife that it's okay for me to go out into the world now, because we're still in the bunker, right? And so we're like, can we come out now? Can I come out of the bunker yet? And so we're whispering, I think I can go and do this stuff. She's like, I think you can too, but it still feels weird. I'm like, I know, but can we do this? She's like, I don't know, I gotta think about it. So we're still thinking about it, but that's one that I'm thinking of because the timing I like. It'd be in about a month from now. So I'm thinking about that. And then in June, I'm thinking about a race in Iowa. It's actually not far from my in-laws. So I thought, that'd be a good time to maybe I could drop my family off at my in-laws' place. And then I can go run this race. It's a trail 50K with 5,000 feet of climbing, closer to 6,000 feet of climbing. And it's in they call it Iowa Bluffs country. And I'm like, yeah, I know what that means. So it'll be a lot like running in Guttenberg. So just a long, mile long stretch of straight uphill, that kind of thing. I mean, not straight uphill. It'll be 6 or 7, maybe 8% grade. But so I'm thinking about doing that. So that'll be one race in May, then early June. So that's kind of the calendar. And then I'm trying to I haven't told my wife about this one yet either. But then I'm thinking, I don't know, Peach Trees in July. I don't know if they'll be able to run that race in person. But that's one that I think would be really fun. So that's kind of where my mind's at. Let me know if there's any other races coming in from May through July that are in your guys' area. Because I was looking at Boulder, but I think that one's going kind of virtual this year. It's splitting up. It's splintering into 4 or 5 smaller races in other locations to kind of spread out the impact. So that's one that I've been wanting to do, but I don't think that's happening this year. And then I've been looking at I think Carlsbad 5K or 5,000. That one's later in the summer though, but they're not sure because it's in California if they're going to be able to go or not. So that's what I'm thinking about. So let me know if there's things that I'm missing, guys. Yeah, Austin Found Baxter says, yeah, do that trail race. It sounds awesome. Yeah, it's not a big race. It's pretty funny. The description is this is a fundraiser for an elementary school, middle school. So keep that in mind before you sign up, and and also keep that in mind for anyone that is thinking that they might need to sign up and then ask for a refund, that kind of thing. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah, a lot of you guys saying coming out to the Carlsbad 5,000. I mean, I have a cousin or a second cousin that lives out in Carlsbad. Well, it's not. Is it Carlsbad? It's in that area. So it'd be, I could see family while I'm out there too. Namaste Saws was saying Carlsbad 5K, that race is legendary. But I just don't know if that race is going to happen. That's the thing, So, yeah, and Lou says California wants to open everything by June 15th. I mean, if that happens, then maybe that race, if it's going to go in August, can happen. So we'll see. All right, Eric says the Medina, is that how you say it, or Medina? I think it's Medina, right? That's how you say it, the city in Ohio. Medina half marathon is 5:29. I'll be running that one. Ooh, 5:29. That's a good date. The other thing that I have to think about though is my mom here? My parents want to plan a trip out, and I'm thinking like, it'll either be because I have to think about when is my wife going to be fully vaccinated. She gets her second shot of Pfizer on Thursday. So then like 2 weeks from that. So we got to figure out like when my parents can come out and visit because they haven't seen us in forever, so yeah, so we'll see. So those are some of the things that I'm thinking about, but the Medina one, that could be fun to go to. Because I mean, that's a long drive, but I could do that drive. Then I wouldn't have to go to an airport because that's just, it's just one level of like, I know I'm okay to do those things, but it's like, it takes one level of kind of anxiety out of it. Ben Weiss says, get out of the bunker, Mike. Your resolve is out. The pandemic has been an example to help me stay sane, knowing others are in the same boat. Yeah, I'm ready, but it's still like, I'm ready, but I'm not, I guess, is the thing that I'm saying. You're used to, hunkering down. It's weird to like not like I'm hearing all this stuff about like we don't need to do all this cleaning because surface transmission hasn't been a significant source of spread, and so I'm like, okay, I get it, but I don't know. I've been washing my hands a lot lately, and I've been doing a lot of the hand sanitizer stuff. It's just going to be hard to like break. It's a habit. I've been doing it for a year. It's going to be hard to break habits now. Corey Allen says, I listened to Dean Karnazes on the newest episode, Running for Real podcast with Tina Muir. What a great guy, and has the same struggles as us, even if he can run forever. Awesome. I'll have to check that out. I just saw something. Maybe I saw someone tweet about it. I think I just saw something. Ian Herman says, Vintage Half Houston, Texas, May 2nd is happening for sure. Ooh. That's going to be a little bit, that might be cutting it a little, I think that's going to cut it a little close for our family stuff. Because I want to wait for my wife too. Yeah, I mean, I know like I'm not going to be bringing stuff back home, but I think just a nice demarcation point. But nice to see that there's other events happening. Greg MD28 says, I'm signed up for the non-canceled marathon in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, May 1st, but that's really soon. Signed up after Milwaukee Marathon was postponed in the fall. I don't know where that is, but Wisconsin feels like a scary place to me right now. Feels like there's a lot of stuff happening up there. Vaccine, like coronavirus wise. So it just seems like, I mean, not that Illinois is doing great, but I don't know where Oconomowoc is. I think I said that right. Did I say that right? I don't know. All right. Sean says, seems like everyone getting pumped about racing in the flesh. That sounds like a very strange sentence. Pumped about racing in the flesh. It sounds weird, but I know what you mean, Sean. Yeah. I mean, hopefully these events can happen, and but at the same time, I was watching the news in the morning, and they were saying that like Japan is only like 1% vaccinated, and so they might not have any spectators for the Olympics. And then I was like, what is going on over there? And then my wife was like, yeah, she looked up more statistics. She was like, South Korea is only 3% vaccinated. I'm like, what? So it's really kind of strange how things are like rolling out globally. And I think like every place is going to be kind of coming out of the bunker at different times, it seems. Tony Bowen says, Chicago always seems scary to me too. I can understand how people would say that. Philip says, did 5 in-person races last year, so can't really relate to all the excitement. And tomorrow in 2 weeks, even have a 5K scheduled. All right, even without a vaccination anywhere on the horizon. All right, yeah, but I think that it's a little bit different for where you are, Philip. Right? You guys have a better handle on things, and have had a better handle on things. So I think that's a big difference there. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I got so excited I went all the way down to the end of the comments, and now I've missed a lot of stuff, so I'm scooching back up. Yeah. Speaking of Carlsbad, Sean Marsh said, more like Carl's good. And Martha says, I want to do Carlsbad 5,000 when they schedule, if and when, I should say. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a race that like Meb is like a part owner of or something like that now, right? Too. So I don't know if he'll be there going to it, but it's a race I think that does have a lot of history on its own. Another one that I'm looking at is the Falmouth Road Race. It's a weird 7-mile like hilly race in Massachusetts. I think that I could probably stay at my sister's place in Connecticut, and so combine like a family trip and then go and then just drive over. I know it'd be still a long drive for a 7-mile race, but that'd probably just be a sensible way to kind of combine those things. So like, yeah. So I'm thinking about like where I can go, where I can do some meetups. I'm trying not to do like make them be like marathon weekends, just so that way it's easier for me to do more of them. And also fit it into like a training schedule, an overall training schedule with, I guess, like the big goal race being CIM this year. So we'll see about all that, but I'm trying to like, make sure I'm not like putting too many blinders on and not only looking at stuff that pops up high on like a search result for like, popular or famous races in the United States. So that's kind of just what I'm thinking about. Mr. Random is here, says hello all, a bit late, but still smiling. Awesome. Good to see you again. All right. Chad and Ruth says, at this point in time life, I have no thoughts about entering or taking part in races. Is that unusual amongst everyone? Just happy to get out and run without pressure. Yeah, it's certainly, and I can understand that too. But I think, for me right now, like the races are like, it's something that, I just haven't done it in a while. And I wasn't racing that much before anyway. I was only racing maybe 2 or 3 times a year, only at like basically marathons. But, I think right now is a good opportunity to kind of just try and reconnect with people in person or connect with people that we've been connecting here and connect in person. So like, that's kind of like the main thing that it's like, an anchor or, kind of, I guess I could just go places and meet people too, but it's better. I mean, I think not better, but it makes more, I guess, sense if there's a race involved. That's kind of how I think about it. I'm also trying to think of like some other, like, I want to go up and check out the Running Warehouse location out in like Central California. It just always looks so beautiful out there. So like, that's like, I'm like, I got to get in touch with those guys and see if we could schedule time to hang out a little bit. I don't know when I'll get down to Texas. I'd like to do that as well too. But I'm also like, you know what? There's so many places I haven't been, so I'm just trying to think about all that. All right. PG1980 says, hey, Kofuzi, how's it going? Not been able to catch you for a while, but happy to be here today. Well, I'm happy to have you here today, PG. Yeah, it's going well. Things are good. Feeling optimistic today. Although, I mean, there's that verdict coming out like any minute now, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, I guess you guys will tell me once that verdict comes out, and we'll get like a live take on it. But all right. Tony E says, I'm pretty sure I'm going to tear up right before the start of my first race back. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to, but like, because I think it's still going to be a little bit weird, right? Because I think there's a lot of, like, at least for like the next few months, like throughout this summer, I think certainly there's going to be like staggered starts, like socially distant starting corrals and things like that. Like that feeling that you get where like everyone's crammed in and like you slowly like inch towards the starting line, like that feeling. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, you hit the start and you go. Like that feeling, I think will be like, wow, I haven't done that in a while, So that'll be interesting to have that happen. And I think it'll be really weird to do my first race where it's still not like 100%, back to how things are normally. This weekend, there was a race along the lakefront, a 5K and a 10K. Was it a 10 mile? I think it was a 5K and a 10 mile. And, or maybe all 3 distances. And I didn't participate in it, but I saw it along my run, and there were the start and I think and finish were at the track up there, and they just had like more cones than I've ever seen in my entire life. And I don't think it was that big of a race, but like they had it so like people knew where to stand, and like the starting corrals could like everyone can be distant. You stand by like a cone. And I'm like, I haven't done that. I've seen some other people do it on YouTube, but I haven't done that. And I think that's going to be a little bit strange. Greg MD says, Oconomowoc is 30 miles west of Milwaukee, and Wisconsin has been one of the best states as far as getting shots in arms. All right. 30 miles west of Milwaukee? That's really close to here then. I'll have to look at that date. Cool, Greg. All right. JJ says, are there any long run shoe recommendations for people with 10 plus minute per mile paces? The sheer amount of time spent in the shoes gets so long that a typical long run shoe recs might not be supportive enough. So if like support is like, see, I was thinking that you would go the other way, that it would go for wanting more cushion. But if you want more support, I might look at the Triumph then, because that one does have a lot of cushion to it. But I also feel like there's a lot of medial support in that shoe to help the ankles from crashing in too much. And so that's one that I would look at. I would also look at the offerings from Brooks. They use a lot of guide rail technology. So like basically there's like, I don't know if they're using like a denser foam or what it is, but it's like channels that keep your foot from, leaning over too far. The Nike Infinity Run also uses kind of a guide rail, but not quite as much as like the new kind of stability that Brooks has been doing. So the Brooks Adrenaline would be one that I would look at. I haven't run in that one myself, but that could be one to look at. And then also, who was just talking about? This is another shoe. I don't run in a lot of stability shoes. So I'm going off of other people's kind of recommendations, but I think we just saw a video from Jamie and Connor, speaking of Running Warehouse. Jamie and Connor talking about some stability shoes, and they were talking about the Gel Cayano Light 2. I think that's the shoe they were talking about. So that's another one that you could look at. Those are going to be shoes that are going to provide a little bit more support when you might need it for those really long runs when you've been out there for a long time and you're starting to get a little bit tired. So those would be ones that I would look for. By the way, did you guys watch that video? I didn't know it was coming, and then I saw it, and I was like, man, like Friends. Like I want to, I want to see these people in real life. So yeah, that's that. You know what I mean? I look forward to it. So, someone was saying like, go run with Seth. Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking. Like the Boulder, he went to it last year, right? Not last year, but the year before that. So I think he went to it that year. So that I felt like would be a good place to meet up. I'd like to also try and track down Doozer, Ryan Van Doozer, because he's out in the Boulder. He's in Boulder as well. So that'd be kind of like a fun thing to try and like find some people to. Oh, here we go. JC said visit SJD. I hear he likes to run. Yeah. So like there's people like Colorado is like high on the list of places that I want to go. The way I'm planning it out so far, we're thinking, it looks like, Massachusetts might get touched on if Falmouth goes through this year. And then maybe Missouri will definitely be in Iowa again, hopefully California, maybe Georgia to go to Atlanta. So, all right. Sean says, we're posting from above. Like looking for a shoe for when school gets out and I can get back to longer miles. Did you review the Fuel Cell Rebel 2? That's my first thought, but let me know your thoughts. I haven't run in the Fuel Cell Rebel 2 yet. No one has reached out to me to try and send me a pair early. I think there's probably enough buzz on it that they probably don't need to send me a pair. So I'm waiting on the shoe to come out just like everybody else. And it doesn't come out till like May something. So I won't get a pair of those for a while. I mean, people are saying that it's going to be that like turbo replacement that we've all been looking for since there was no Turbo 3. So like that's a pretty high mark to set out for itself. So we'll see. I did like the Rebel version 1 quite a bit. And so, we'll see how it comes out. But for longer miles, if you're looking at, I would say if you're looking at the Rebel 2, I would say for now, if you need something kind of like sooner, I would definitely look at the DV8 Nitro, the Mach 4, that Under Armour Velocity It's a pretty good shoe too. A little expensive, but a pretty good shoe as well. The Invincible. I mean, these are all the shoes that I've been running in lately. Kind of like easy to easy, moderate, longer run shoes. And, there's a lot of good stuff out there right now. I think all like the faster daily trainers, they don't usually come out till like June. So those are coming out soon, but kind of like in the horizon right now on this on the bubble is like Fuel Cell Rebel 2, something to think about coming out soon. Magic Speed, I think ships in about 10 days, ships like April 30th. Super excited about that shoe. So like there's some interesting shoes out there, and there's still the Hyperion Tempo that's out there. By the way, I did send a pair of Hyperion Tempos to my nephew who's running track and where's it? What town is this? Is it Marshalltown? Is it Marshalltown? I think it's Marshalltown, Iowa. Marshalltown's one of the near towns there. Is it Conrad, Marshalltown, that area? He's a BCLUW Comet, so I think that's his school, BCLUW. I don't know what any of those letters stand for, but that's what's on his shirt, I think. And so yeah, so he's on the track team out there. He's been enjoying it. I forget who I sent it through, but whoever I sent it through, like when I bought it, it was like, oh, you want a free accessory? So I also sent him like a rolling stick, and he's like, hey, he sent me a text today. He's like, oh, Mike, thanks so much for the shoes. I really love them. They're really lightweight, and I love racing in them. And the stick, I bring the stick with me everywhere. It's a thing that I never knew I needed, but I use it every day. So I think that's pretty funny. It was awesome. It was awesome to see. But yeah, so the Fuel Cell Rebel 2 is going to be, everyone seems to like it. Everyone seems to like it. So the people who like, whenever I'm like, if they like the shoe, I usually end up liking it. They're liking it. So I have a feeling I'm going to like that one too. Ooh, Martha says, talk to Running Warehouse in San Luis Obispo. Their showroom has been closed during COVID, but we hope to go up there first week of July if they're open. I want to try on dozens of shoes. Yeah, I mean, I want to check it out. I want to go there. They've been telling me that there's lots of really nice trails that's just like right outside that you can go run around. That are really nice. A lot of people that that work there, they'll go for a run during their lunch hour. So it's like, oh, really, really cool. So I just want to go. It'd be fun. I've heard like the showroom is a little bit like small. It's not like this giant like pantheon of running shoes, but it's kind of like it is what it is. But I think it'd be kind of cool, like a place to stop in. A nice little kind of like a rest stop on a longer journey kind of thing. So I think that'd be fun. All right, Namaste says races are a good excuse for all those carbon plated shoes people bought. Yeah, it is. I mean, like half my closet right now is carbon plated shoes, and I'm like, once we hit June, there's going to be, I think, a lot more that come out, and so I'm like, I need to get through the ones that I have, so I can kind of do some long term kind of like longevity updates on some of these shoes. Like the Adios Pro, I've got like 70 miles on it. Alpha Flies, I've got like, I think 75 miles on those. And then I have all the rest of them are like 40 miles, so like the Metaspeed Sky, RC Elite 1, the Hyperion Elite 2, like all those shoes are like in the 40 to 50 mile range. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to put in all these miles, but I don't want to just take them out for like easy runs. So I'm like, I got to do some working out, I guess. But, if I put a lot of 5Ks and 10Ks on the schedule as I'm traveling to these races, I think that'll be kind of fun to rotate through all those shoes. And then there'll be new shoes that come out too. So I'm thinking about, for that 50K trail race I was talking about, I'm thinking about one of two pairs of shoes, because I only basically have two trail shoes right now. One would be the Lone Peak 5, which I feel like that's probably going to be a good choice, because I feel like it's probably going to take me a little bit more than 5 hours to do this course. Maybe longer than that, because I really haven't been doing, I mean, my longest run in the last couple of months was like 15 miles. So like, I'm not doing a lot of ultra training, but it's in June, so there's still time. Or basically, I guess I have like a month if I sign up for that race. Hopefully it still goes. And then the other shoe would be the Kraft CTM Ultra Carbon. And I'm like, that might work. I think it'd probably work. But like, there's not a lot of pictures from this race because it's not a big, huge race. So I don't have like a good sense. There isn't even like a course map that I've seen. So like, I don't know what shoes I'll bring to that. But I'll probably, that CTM Ultra Carbon always digs into my Achilles on the left-hand side. So that's my only real concern of like, if I wear that, I've worn that shoe for 2 hours at a time and it tears my ankle up. If I wear that for like 5 hours plus, I'm gonna be dead. So I'm not sure how to like really handle that. I don't really want to start like cutting the shoe or doing anything to it. So we'll see. All right. Rob Schroeder just took his DV8 Nitros on a trail run. Cool. Cool, Rob. And Scotty B's here. What's going on, Scotty? Says, hey, I'll check in. Got my snack, noon recovery, and a bagel. You know, I miss the noon recovery. So I've been drinking the Science and Sport. I tried that Transparent Labs chocolate, like protein shake. I'm not a huge fan of either of those. They're okay. I miss the noon recovery. That's a good taste. And I feel like, like I was saying the other day, like when I miss something, then I feel like it was worth working. The other way that I know something is working is when like after a run, I just come back and I'm like, well, that felt great. Well, that felt great. That's kind of how I know like a gel is working. I feel like I'm turning a corner in how I feel about a lot of my gels. Like before I wanted like a Martin where I was like, I want to punch in the face. Like as soon as I eat it, I just want to feel like I just put like when Doc Brown puts like the rest of that like beer in the Mr. Fusion, like I want to feel like that. I just want to feel like, bam, things are going. But now I'm just like, I want to be more even keeled. So today yesterday and the day before I had 10-mile runs on each of those days. I probably didn't need to bring a gel, but I brought a Unimed with me each time, and I ate them around like the 6-mile mark. And when I got home after my run, I was like, that run felt really good. I feel really good. So that's like the new feeling that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the, hey, I don't feel terrible today feeling. Yeah, that's not like a ringing endorsement, but I feel like that's kind of like, I think better for me in the long run, longevity kind of perspective. I don't know how you guys feel about your gels. Do you like to have like when I especially the Martin Calf, when I feel like that's just like eating rocket fuel. Will says the Martins really work for me. I'm spoiled now, and believe me, takes all my money. Yeah. I mean, I think that like, I don't know. Like I like the idea of like the running stores having more of that like runner's nutrition. It gives people a reason to go in like regularly, So I do feel like as much as I enjoy like buying stuff by the box on Amazon and having it shipped to me, that's convenient. I feel like once I feel comfortable going in a store again, which would be soon, I'm just gonna start trying to buy a lot of my nutrition from running stores because like I'm spending the money anyway. So yeah. Spence Ohm says, you know what's a punch in the face with regard to energy gels? When your Univet explodes and spills over your face, shirt, hands, pants, and 7 miles from home. I've had that happen to me one time with a caramel one. And I was really annoyed about that because the caramel ones are my favorite flavor. I just wish that they came in caramel with caffeine. They don't, but there's a caramel one. And it was the Elite gel, so it was the bigger one. No, it was caramel, so it must have been, I don't think the caramel comes in a big size. It was definitely a caramel one. But I remember it was the middle of winter, so it was super cold out, and I was like tearing it to get it open, and it finally gave like too fast. And so like it dripped down my mitten and then like onto my pant. And there was just like this like caramel colored stain like in the middle of my thigh. And it was just like all over the back of my glove. So I've had that happen before too. That's very frustrating because you're like, no, I didn't get any of the sugar that I wanted or the nutrition. And it's also frozen to all my stuff. Yeah, so that wasn't great. Remy says, just saying hi, friends. What's going on, Remy? Enjoy the day. Good to see you. All right. And Eric says, I'm on a first name basis at Fleet Feet now. Oh, that's funny. Sean says, if I take one Martin gel, I can guarantee I'll be in the cornfield all day. Nice. Very nice. Scott likes the hammer gels. Oh, that's one that I keep saying that I'm going to get, and I never end up doing. Oh, the other gel that I bought, it doesn't have to be a surprise. I ordered some of the UCAN gels because the UCAN, that super starch, whatever it is that they have, I don't know. I suppose I could look at it. It's probably just, is it just like maltodextrose or something like that? Their super starch formula, whatever they have, is one of those products where I take it and I'm just like, oh yeah, that run felt great. Like at no point did I feel like, I was turning on like the NOS in like in a drag race. I just felt like, I felt really good during that run. So like if I eat like there's anytime bars and energy bars with the super starch in it, from UCAN, I've been enjoying that. So they just came out with a gel, so I ordered some of those. I should order some hammer gels too. That's something that I'll do right when I get off the live stream today, because I keep saying I'm going to do it and I always forget. Sean, all the dad jokes today. Hammer gels, how I messed up tons of iron. Oh, that's funny. Will says, although the Martin calf gels really freak me out, 100 milligrams of caffeine is a lot. If you're taking 4 or 5 of those in a marathon, I feel like you'd be wired. Here's the thing. Like, I feel like it's the amount of milligrams of caffeine doesn't bother me, because I've taken Science and Sport gels that I have 75 milligrams. There is a Cliff Shots. There's like like mocha, or is it there's a double espresso flavor, I think, that has 100 milligrams as well. And those I feel like there's caffeine in it, but I don't feel like it's a lot. The 100 milligrams of caffeine in the Martin Calf, like the Calf 100, that I just feel like, boom, like the minute I open it up, I'm just like, oh, I'm awake. So that I don't think it's like that extra 25 milligrams or like the 100 milligram number itself does it for me. I think it's also like the quick absorption. It just hits me all at once. So I think that's it. All right. CV76 wants to know if anyone else is on the virtual HCCA compliance conference and also multitasking. No, I'm not. My wife today asked me if like, hey, do you miss going to work and stuff? She's been asking that a lot lately. So I don't know if she's just like, hey, you're really bad at the stay-at-home dad stuff. You need to get back to work. So I don't know what her deal is with that. She keeps like pressing me on like, hey, do you think you're going to go back to work? And I'm like, nope. I'm done with that. I'm retired. That's kind of like the way I do it. I don't think she likes when I do that. But yeah, I don't miss work. So like something that you guys might have I don't know if you guys picked up on it. So one of the things that I used to do a lot for my job, I did a variety of roles. It would depend on the team and the size of the case and the budget. But, one of the things that they were talking about yesterday is like the jurors are going to have a lot to go over. Each of them has a computer with all the exhibits on it. So they really have to like go through it all. And like one of the things that I would have to do is I was the guy that put that stuff together a lot of the time. And I was just like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, they gave every juror a computer. That's such a waste of time and effort. But then also stuff like, each of the attorneys for their openings and their closings had a lot of multimedia. So I was like a professional PowerPoint maker. So I, putting those presentations together and just not just like adding stuff to slides, but like helping craft the way the visuals are going to look. That's something that I used to do too. And I'm watching these closing arguments and I'm just like, I'm glad. Like normally, like I would want to be like, oh man, I want to work on cases like that. And that was my trajectory. I was getting a lot of really big high profile cases in Chicago and around the country. But I have a collection of like courtroom sketches that I'm in. But I was thinking about it on like this trial. I'm like, I had no desire to be like, oh man, I really wish I was in that courtroom working the tech on this one. I had no desire. So I just think that that's a good sign. I'm done with that. I don't know how I started talking about that. I guess it was just on my mind, guys. Oh, Stevie76 brought it up because he's talking about work. It's all Stevie's fault. All right. Patrick95 says, when will you do the Endorphin Pro versus Metaspeed Sky video? That's a good one. Well, I haven't had a plan for that one yet. But that does make sense as the next one in the queue. All right, Patrick, I'll have to get that one going. I gotta think of what the good test for that's going to be. But we'll see. All right, I'm thinking about it. I'll put it on my list for sure. Let's see. JJ said, came across your LinkedIn and realized we did the same undergrad major and law school. Oh, awesome. Any advice for balancing the 1L to 3L and associate years with fitness? Yeah. I mean, the associate years are going to be different, but law school, it should be easy to maintain your fitness because even if you're working, at least in your first year, you should only be, I think, unless they've changed the rules, you should only be working less than 20 hours a week. So between the amount of studying that you need to be doing and the amount of work that you may potentially do, that gives you plenty of time to get in that fitness. And I think a great way to do it is whenever you're changing gears. So if you're done with class for the day, before you get home for dinner, that's a great time to do your run. Then you got dinner, and then you could study some more after dinner, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the best way I would do it. And I would say really protect your fitness time, because it's going to be easy. I got a brief due that I got to write this week or something like that. And say this is the week that I'll just skip it one week and I'll be fine. Then every week you're going to have a good reason, air quotes, to skip the run. So really protect that, and make it borderline non-negotiable. So that's kind of the way I would handle it for your 1L year. It's going to be really tempting to I just got to spend my entire time in the library. But I overcomplicate, like I do everything. I overcomplicated it. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Get the horn treatises or the horn books and all that stuff, and figure out what you need to figure out. But you don't have to be a prodigy legal scholar to do well in your first year of law school. So just keep it simple. And then as you go through law school, you have a little bit more control over your schedule, but kind of keep the same mentality. I would probably try to use it as a way of breaking up the different chunks of your day. So you go from legal mode or school mode into work mode if you can, or beginning of the day, end of the day, try to put that in the middle somewhere. Or if you can't ever do that, then put it at the front of the day. That's where I like to do my running now. Once you become an associate, though, your hours are going to be super, super crazy. So you're going to have you're going to have zero ability to control your time. In that situation, I'd probably try and find a way to do it. Become a morning runner. That'd be my recommendation. All right. And someone said, what was my degree was in? My degree was in biology. So that was I did study biology in college. That's my stage impression. But yeah, so yeah. Yeah. So that's what I did. And then I went to law school a couple of years after that. All right. CV76 says, I started running in law school, a great stress reliever. Yeah. I think it's a good time. I mean, people usually go one of two ways. They develop really good habits in law school, or they develop really bad habits in law school. Some people exacerbate their bad habits and then realize, well, this is not sustainable, and then develop really good habits during law school. You can live an entire life in those 3 years. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's a good place to leave it for today. Tomorrow's video is going to be talking about my next virtual. It's going to be another virtual race, but that's coming up soon. I'll talk about it tomorrow in tomorrow's video. So it's going to be a pretty short one. And then we'll do another live stream in the afternoon, 3 p.m. Central Time, same time as today. Hopefully I'll see you then. In the meantime, Be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.